Hello, welcome to episode 2.
Here's our blanket, excellent.
An asymmetrical turn. Dropping and sinking up.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 43 of Namaste Yoga. I think August it's all Nika and Melissa. Today we're finishing up our 10-part series, yay, actually 11 with today's class on the Yamas and the Niyamas as compiled by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras, and these are the prescriptive guidelines for living by. And so today we're going to do an overview class, and I was going to just thank Ninka for coming from yogabliss.me to come and do this class with us today. And Ninka is going to be graciously doing next week's class as well while I'm away in Vermont. We just recorded that one prior to recording this one. So go ahead and rest back in Shavasana. And we're going to start with a review of the Yamas and the Niyamas. And today I'm reading from Nichola Joy Davies' The Secret Power of Yoga, a guide to the heart and spirit of the Yoga Sutras. And we're going to read directly from her translation, the translation without the explanation and dialoguing around it, as a way to return to the Yamas and the Niyamas as a whole, and to review them again. So starting with with book 2, verse 30, Yamas, which Nichola Joy Devi translates as reflection of our true nature, is experienced through ahimsa, reverence, love, compassion for all, satya, truthfulness and integrity, asteya, generosity and honesty, brahmacharya, balance and moderation of the vital life force, and aparigraha, awareness of abundance and fulfillment. These great truths are universal and inherent to all beings. If altered or ignored, the quality of life is greatly compromised. Niyamas, the evolution toward harmony, encompasses saucha, simplicity, purity, and refinement, santosha, contentment, being at peace with oneself and others, tapas, igniting the purifying flame, swadhyaya, sacred study of the divine through scripture, nature, and introspection. And finally, Ishwara Pranidhana, wholehearted dedication to the divine. Now I'll read the verses from each sutra for each yama and the niyama. Embracing reverence and love for all, ahimsa, we experience oneness. Dedicated to truth and integrity, satya, our thoughts, words, and actions gain the power to manifest. Abiding in generosity and honesty, asteya, material and spiritual prosperity is bestowed. Dedicated to living a balanced and moderate life, brahmacharya, the scope of one's life force becomes boundless. Acknowledging abundance, aparigraha, we recognize the blessings in everything and gain insights into the purpose of our worldly existence. Through simplicity and continual refinement, saucha, the body, thoughts, and emotions become clear reflections of the self within. Saucha reveals our joyful nature, and the yearning for knowing the self blossoms. When at peace and content with oneself and others, santosha, supreme joy is celebrated. Living life with zeal and sincerity, the purifying flame is ignited. tapas, revealing the inner light. Sacred study of the divine through scripture, nature, and introspection, svadhyaya, guides us to the Supreme Self. Through wholehearted dedication, Iswara Pranidhana, we become intoxicated with the divine. So these are the yamas and the niyamas that we will be reviewing today. And my goal for us today is to really integrate them into our bodies by working with postures that correspond to the yamas and the niyamas as a way of going back and reviewing. So just take a moment to reflect on how you would like to work with the yamas and the niyamas in class today. What intention would you like to set so that this practice would best serve you in your life right now? And as I've mentioned before, intention can also come in the form of a dedication. And so I would like to dedicate this class to my teacher, Karen Haskarl, who's having some really serious health challenges right now. And so today I dedicate my teaching to her and her teaching and to her recovery. So when you feel settled in your intention or dedication, begin to wiggle and stretch. And I'm going to have you, this class will seem maybe a little strange from an asana perspective. I'll be the first to admit, there's not good flow in terms of sequencing asana to asana, just because I wanted to go through the yamas and the niyamas sequentially. So there's where our sequencing is being dictated by. So it might feel a little bit more up and down and back and forth than usual. But I think it'll allow us to review the yamas and the niyamas nicely. So I'm going to have you start in child's pose. And we start with ahimsa. And I think with ahimsa, it's this idea of nonviolence, of having loving kindness and compassion, experiencing that for ourselves so that we can go out into the world and behave in a way that is loving and kind and compassionate. So I wanted to, in child's pose, first bring loving kindness towards ourselves. Because if we can feel and treat ourselves with loving kindness, then it becomes very easy to move out into the world in a very loving and kind way. So as you're resting in child's pose, simply repeat to yourself, may I be free from inner and outer harm. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. And may I look after myself joyfully. May I be free from inner and outer harm. May I be happy and peaceful.